Well, weathering with you. After just coming back from the cinema to watch this, I feel satisfied and complete. Weird way to put it, but it's just how I feel. Now, heads up everyone, there will be spoilers in this video, sorry to disappoint you, but I wouldn't be able to talk about everything I like about this film if I couldn't contain spoilers, and it'll be a pretty boring video. And you've probably had enough of the spoiler-free stuff anyway since you actually came here. A full, 7 months after its original release. Anyway, on with the show. Whilst I do admit, this film did have a rather slow start, the latter half completely made up for it. I enjoyed every single character, and overall I just thought it was a very relaxing and entertaining experience, apart from a couple highs which added even more to the entertainment value. The film follows a high school runaway named, I need to get these pronunciations right, named Hodoka, trying to find a job to earn money and get an apartment. This eventually leads to almost getting thrown off a ferry when a freak rainstorm hits it. However, he is saved by a man named Suga who gives Hodoka his business card in case he ever needed help. After being kicked out of a lift lobby that he had been using as a shelter, he finds a gun inside a bin and then keeps it as a lucky charm for whatever reason, as he thinks it's a toy. He briefly encounters Hina, the weather girl, at McDonald's, which is where she temporarily works. It's amazing how the artists and animators just made it look like an actual McDonald's. They must have bought the brand as well, just so they could use it. I'm just in awe how it has such an unrealistic yet hyper-realistic art style, and it works incredibly well together somehow. And I'm so glad I got to see this on the big screen. Anyway, she takes pity on Hodoka for being alone, giving him a free meal. A very, very nice looking Big Mac, and I've never seen a good looking Big Mac, so amazing. Hodoka then contacts Suga and is hired as an assistant to a small publishing company. This leads to him having a place to stay and with things to eat. Eventually, Hodoka runs into Hina once again and saves her from some questionable business. After discovering that Hina can use her prayers to bring sunshine back into Tokyo because it's raining all the time, Hodoka grows closer and closer to Hina, and they use Hina's power to complete requests for sunshine for individual members of the public for profit, so then this turns into a part-time job for the two. This all goes well, and we're even reintroduced to Taki and Mitsuha from Your Name as fellow citizens, which I absolutely love as it makes you really feel like this animated world is all real and connected. Taki is a customer to Hina's and Hodoka's work, and Mitsuha is the one who gives Hodoka the ring to give to Hina. They're not just given a small little cameo like Stan Lee, as in a single line or something stupid like that, but they're actual characters hidden in the world. Well, you wouldn't really call them hidden, but they're merged as one with the world, if you like. The one thing we didn't get to see, however, was, or even the slight hint that Taki and Mitsuha are together at the time this film is set. In Your Name, after the 5 years have passed and both Taki and Mitsuha have grown up, we frequently see it raining, which means it really was taking place at the time, which means, Jesus Christ, Shinkai, you really have been planning this for a long time, haven't you? Furthermore, the one day where it wasn't raining was when Taki and Mitsuha exchanged names, the final scene of Your Name. There was one day full of sunshine, which is when Hina sacrificed herself. It could have just happened off screen, which is good in a way, as otherwise it would have been too much and we'd be focused on that rather than the fact that Hina had literally just sacrificed herself. When snow came up in the middle of August in Weathering With You at one point, I really thought we were going to see the scene where Mitsuha and Taki just walk by really annoyingly by each other in umbrellas, but sadly we didn't get that much. But talking of fan service, we didn't get too much, but there was quite a few "are you looking at my boobs" moments, which was particularly hard to get through, especially whilst watching this with my dad and brother. It's funny, as they call it fan service, but I'm a fan and I don't get any service from it. Strange that is. Anyway, I was watching the dub mostly because my brother didn't want to have to read for 2 hours, and I didn't exactly want to go into a room on my own as I'd probably be the only weeb there. But to be honest though, there was actually quite a few people in the cinema with us, which gave me a very pleasant surprise. But the reason why I'm telling you all about this is because I wanted to say how good the English dub was. Ever since watching Your Name, I think actually, I've always went for the sub rather than dub, as I couldn't take any of it seriously. I'd just be really distracted by the very, very distracting voice acting, and you get used to the Japanese after a while, but this was actually good. The sub trailers were the ones that feel weird now. When watching the trailer for the dub, I was very cautious and nervous as it didn't really do it justice, but I was, again, pleasantly surprised, so that's that. One thing I felt could have been done a tad better, however, was Hina's sacrifice. Whilst it was hinted at ever since we have heard about the weather girl that the fortune teller went on about, and I did work it out before it was properly revealed, but just fading away in a sleep was quite underwhelming in my opinion. Maybe it could have ended with her committing suicide or something, although that would be very dark. Or just simply fading away intentionally in front of Hodoka, in the belief that Hodoka wants the sun back more than her, as she did ask the question whether Hodoka wants the rain to go away beforehand, and he responded with a sharp yes. I mean, that would be very dark, but I feel like just fading away when he wasn't even aware. I mean, I guess it adds to the dream thing that everyone had, but I don't know, it's just like, yeah, I feel like it could have a lot more emotional impact. This could have then ended in a really emotional, perhaps even tear-jerking moment when she says goodbye and then sacrifices herself for Tokyo. And then Hodoka would have been like really hesitant to say, no, it's not worth it, I love you more than the rain, and then she would have done it anyway. And then it would have probably made the film a 15, but I think it would have left more of an impact. However, the act of Hodoka actually getting Hina back was done perfectly in my opinion, so that was my only like small nitpick. The comedy was quite entertaining, especially the cat. That was amazing. The fact that it went from a cute little kitten to a fat cat mirroring the expressions of Suga, that was phenomenal. Nothing ever made me laugh out loud, apart from Hina's little brother being a constant player throughout the entire movie. That actually made me laugh, and that was very entertaining. But it did give me quite a few grins to exchange with my dad. But I wasn't here for the comedy or the fan service. I was here for the story, the music, the art, and the animation. And it mastered all four of them. There was this beautiful 6-second scene or something where it could have actually been a camera going over the real Tokyo, recording incredibly beautiful fireworks. I was literally in awe the entire time. The rain must have been a real pain to animate as well, as that was done just as beautifully, and I tried animation once and but despite the animation being a bit shaky and it kind of falling flat sometimes, but that was on like, I think that was 3 different occasions on the 2-hour film. Every other frame was literally eye porn. Yes, I actually just said that. There were no poorly rendered CGI scenes like we had in Your Name, and every frame could have been a desktop wallpaper, literally. The art was just consistent and just as beautiful, along with the characters' designs. Just by looking at these designs, you could understand who they were, and even the English voices fitted each and every one of them. The soundtrack, created by Radwimps, who's my favourite J-pop band now, the same band that did the soundtrack for Your Name as well, was on point, and the film felt like a beautiful, calming music video, literally. And that's something I've never experienced before. As a YouTuber by the name of Crown Cryptid said, there was a point at the end where 3 lyrical songs were almost played back to back, which did feel kind of strange and unnatural, but it further added to the idea of the film being a 2-hour long music video, which is something I couldn't have wanted more. And it was just so calming and relaxing, and it was just a great film. And considering I'm a massive fan of animated music videos that Gorillas, towards the end of the film, Suga had revealed to be married before his other half had passed away, and his daughter had to stay with her grandma due to her asthma, to stay away from the rain and her dad's lifestyle habits to protect her. After this is revealed, Suga really sympathized with Hodoka after losing Hina to the sky due to his experiences. When this was showcased in a particular scene, it gave me chills, quite literally, and quickly made Suga one of my favourite characters in the film. It's just quite melancholic, and it quickly makes Suga want Hodoka to finish his mission and get the one he loves back, because he never got that opportunity. Damn, the more I think about this film, the more I love it. I rated it a 10 on my anime list, by the way, and very few get that rating. I know that I'm comparing this to Your Name a lot, but to truly understand its greatness, I feel like I have to. But whilst the end of Your Name did feel a bit unsatisfying and underwhelming, the end of Weathering With You couldn't have been greater. It all ended with Hodoka running towards Hina with tears in his eyes to exchange a massive hug. They had been separated for 3 years due to Hodoka's supposed crimes. He ran away from home, lived alone as a minor, and threatened multiple men with a gun to get Hina back. I guess that leads back to why I feel whole and satisfied after watching this, as it was a whole film, and it was satisfying, and the end was actually present. The amount of things I see nowadays that has that underwhelming ending is unbearable. If it's purposely left open to create unease and uncertainty, it's completely fine. I prefer those endings, in fact. But when it's just left simply due to poor writing, then it's the worst feeling in the world. Like, I'd rather have a really boring beginning rather than an underwhelming ending. So, thank you, Shinkai, for making this a satisfying one. It's quite sad that this will get compared to Your Name Alone, just like I have, just because it does feel very similar. But it feels similar in the way that it's just in the same world they're in, which I love, as it makes this whole thing a whole lot more real and believable. I've heard some say that it's too similar to Your Name story-wise, which I disagree with. It explored completely different themes and characters I actually prefer over Your Name. In my opinion, Your Name had higher highs, but it also had lower lows. Where with Weathering with You, I felt it all came together beautifully and felt very whole. I promise I'll stop comparing to Your Name now, I think it's getting quite unbearable. Like I've said in this video a load of times now, I do like repeating myself apparently. This film was a great experience that felt satisfying and entertaining throughout. It wasn't groundbreaking, but it certainly was great, so I will give it a 10. I feel like I need an 11 out of 10 score just for things that like break records and are mind-blowing. I'll probably do that in the future for things that actually deserve an 11 out of 10 though. Anyways, sadly we have to come to an end for this video, I know. Just all I have to say is just please watch this. If you're in the US or UK or Japan, where it was actually made, which I was amazed to see was in the UK. After all, I hear is anime coming out only in Japan and the US, so that was another reason why I was so eager to watch this in the cinema. So just get off your ass. I don't care what you're doing. You could be masturbating, you could be sitting on there actually doing something productive with you, like you could be doing revision. Like, who does revision? Go watch this film. Watch this film now, okay? And I'll just be here ending this video. Thank you for watching the end of this. It was a very unstructured and it was just me basically, like I said in the last one, may as well be venting because I'm literally just rambling pretty much. But this is, I just want to express my opinion basically. But I think this video needs to end now, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Farewell.